I was at the Central Library today when I found out Robert Duvall has just died. He was 95 years old. And, you know, I was a fan of many of his films, and still am. The Godfather, of course. You know, a lot of people argue whether the first one or the second one is the best. And I'm not saying the third one is the best, but I really like the third one. A lot of folks don't. But and he wasn't in that, you know, which I'll talk about. But it's you know, he was great in Godfather 1 and 2. I saw 𝘎𝘰𝘰𝘥𝘆𝘺 Now. I saw 𝘎𝘰𝘰𝘥𝘆𝘺 there. I forgot to print a photo of him in Secondhand Lions, because you know, but that was a great movie too. I never saw it when I was younger, but I saw it for the first time with Rebecca. She really likes the film. And you know, it's we'll talk about that one first. It's you know, it's kind of like the movie Where the Wild Things Are. You know, it's a movie kids can watch, but it's more about being a kid as opposed to being entertaining for kids. And you know, it's a very lonely film, and you know, learning to move on and things like that. So I mean, it's you know, it was very good. It was, him and Michael Caine were very good in that movie. And then that kind of dovetails into Get Low. You know, I didn't see it in the movies, but I saw it years ago, over 10 years ago. And you know, it seems like it kind of came and went. It seems like it was a little popular at the time, but you know, it had its moment and it passed. But you know, honestly, as far as I know, that's the only time Robert Duvall and Bill Murray were in a film together. And you know, both of them really showed off their acting chops. You know, we think of Bill Murray as a comedian, but you know, that was a great film too. And you know, 𝘎𝘰𝘰𝘥𝘆𝘺 Now was good, but The Godfather was or is, you know, obviously very meaningful to a lot of people, and me too. You know, I saw it for the first time when I was in my teens, and I had a nice videotape set of the entire trilogy. And I don't know what happened to it, but you know, each film took 2 videotapes back then. And so, you know, I liked watching that. And a lot of people argue over whether the first one or the second one is the best. And you know, I think the first one's the best, but you know, the second one and the third one are both very, very good. And you know, I'm sure Godfather fans have heard that you know, just Robert Duvall wanted to be paid as much as Al Pacino to be in the third one, and Francis Ford Coppola wouldn't have it. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been in it, but I think it was the right move to kill off his character. You know, just by the third film, Michael is very lonely, and you know, he wants out of the mob life and everything. And you know, the whole movie is about him losing all the people, you know, he loves for the choices he's made in life. And you know, not having Tom Hagen there really goes along with that. I think it makes the most sense. So I mean, and plus, you know, just, you know, Coppola has said, you know, if he had been in the movie, you know, just he would have been doing things like running the Corleone Foundation and everything that the lawyer that BJ or George Hamilton played, BJ Harrison, you know, ended up doing. So it's you know, it wasn't really that important of a part. So you know, it was the right move for him to not be in it. But you know, Robert Duvall was great in the first one, the second one. And you know, of course, when you get older, and you know, I'm 41 now, and you know, I'm not old yet, but you know, you think more about death and the afterlife and all that. And you know, I've only watched Get Low once. You know, it's kind of a sad story, but you know, well acted and realistic. I think a lot of people think about the things that happen in that movie, and you know, they feel bad about things they've done. you know, some people, and they you know, think about what the world will be like when they're gone and where they're going and all that. So it's just, you know, that's one they should check out. I mean, you should check out all the movies I mentioned, but that's a good one too. So, you know, finally, you know, Robert Duvall never had children, I don't think, and he was in the military. He deserves the respect a soldier should get. Yeah, I always feel bad for folks who never had kids, you know, but you know, it seemed like he had a great life. He had a long life. He had an incredible career. He won an Oscar, and you know, he had a great career and a great life. And you know, I'm always going to think about the films I mentioned, and I'm going to try and watch more of them. There's so many, because you know, he was in To Kill a Mockingbird. He played Boo Radley. I saw that too in high school. I haven't seen it since then, but yeah, he's just been in so many important roles, and you know, for my time in this world, you know, he was played a large role in culture, and as big as Al Pacino and all the rest. So you know, thank you for the memories, Mr. Duvall, and God bless you.